So,
All right.
before I get started, I'm going to, as you mentioned, Joe, the Appalachians, they run very vast, right? They're obviously bigger. Typically, when you think of the kind of crazy,
Hold on one second.
cryptid.
For this episode, you can call me Duke. All right, go ahead.
Duke?
Duke.
All right, Duke. All right.
Go ahead.
So, a lot of when you think about down south, more towards where you know Tennessee, that kind of area, but the mountains run all the way up, as you mentioned, up into Canada. And I, as you may or may not know, I am from Northwest New Jersey, and the Appalachians run right through there. Growing up in the Scouts, I've hiked the Appalachian Mountains many, many times. So, being from the more northern section, I did pick a more northern Appalachian cryptid, and that is the Pukwudgie.
That's why you sound like a smart mouth. You turned in all your homework in on time, son. You understand?
That's right.
That's right. You're that guy. All right. Gotcha.
That's right. So, the Pukwudgie is actually really known more in the New England region, that kind of area. Usually Massachusetts is where they're most commonly found. Really, they are part of, and I'm gonna sit here and just apologize ahead of time. There's probably a bunch of words I'm not going to say right because they're big in Native American folklore. Okay, so mostly found in the Wampanoag Native American tribe mythology, and I hope I'm saying that right. So, just a quick description of what a Pukwudgie is. They are described as typically between 2 and 3 feet tall and are said to be almost human-like. They resemble humans, but just very short. And the features that resemble humans the most are the fact that they have hands with fingers. They have human-like ears and noses. Now, the noses are typically depicted as being longer than normal human noses, but generally speaking, they look like small humans. But that's just in their normal form, right? So they are also known for having supernatural abilities. The two most common being that they can disappear, reappear at will, right? You could be chasing one and all of a sudden, gone. You're not going to see it. It's just disappearing act, and it comes back whenever it wants. So that makes it a little dangerous, and that,
Yeah, no doubt.
And all of a sudden he's behind it, So that's one thing. Their other supernatural ability is that they can shapeshift. Commonly, they're known to shapeshift into what people have described as having like a troll face, kind of like a more grotesque kind of troll's face, and growing quills like a porcupine on their back, or either long quills or just thick matted hair. Why you would want to shapeshift into that, I have no idea, but that's what they do.
Right. Because they don't want to be touched, I guess.
Like Joe. Scrapped up.
That is very... Now, with the Pukwudgies, they're not friendly. They are not friendly with humans, and I'm going to go into what they do to humans. But before I do that, I'm going to tell you why. And I'm going to give you all the, I guess you could say, the origin story of the Pukwudgie. And as I said, before I get into the whether they're even real or not in the first place, I'm just going to preface this by saying that their origin comes deep from within Wampanoag mythology. So take this story as you will. As
gospel, God's truth.
That's right. That's 100% factual, everybody. So pay attention. So early, I don't know the exact time frame of this, but long ago, the Pukwudgies and the Wampanoag people actually peacefully. They were friendly with each other. They lived in harmony. Things were good. I guess as good as you can be living amongst an army of 2-foot-tall shapeshifters. But yes, humans and the Pukwudgies were friendly. At some point arrived this a giant named Maushop. Again, I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Maushop, he was a giant, and he was a Wampanoag deity. and they credit him with forming land. They've credited him with forming the landmass that is Cape Cod and other areas. So he was loved by the Wampanoag people. And over time, the Pukwudgies, they became jealous of Moushop, and they wanted to be beloved just like he was. But the Wampanoag people, they didn't particularly care for the Pukwudgies, and so there was a resentment that grew from the Pukwudgies and the Wampanoag people. So over time, they kind of turned their back on them, and they would cause all sorts of tricks and trouble, tricking the people, and just causing general mischief, right? And the Wampanoag people, they had enough. So they spoke with Moushop, and Moushop took, again, being a giant, he would gather up over time. He would pick up handfuls and handfuls of these Pukwudgies, and he would shake them into a stupor, and he would hurl them all across New England, got them out of there. Many of them died when they landed, but some of them survived, and they were not happy. As I'm sure you can imagine, they were not happy with this.
That would do it.
Over time, they returned to where the Wampanoag people were, and they struck back with a vengeance. They would kidnap children. They would burn the villages. They even reportedly murdered Moushop's 5 children, his 5 kids. They can summon magic arrows, and they have gas bombs. Like they're little tricksters, right?
Right.
So they arrowed down Moushop's 5 kids, and obviously he was not happy with this. So he began attacking the Pukwudgies and killing them off, and many of them scattered. They fled all throughout New England again, which is why they are commonly found in the New England areas. They've scattered, but many of them, they decided to come back. They gathered back one more time to get their revenge. And here is where I would figure that there'd be more writing about this, but it was kind of vague from what I was able to find. Was that once they returned to the area, they were able to trick Moushop out into the waters off the Cape Cod. And once he was out there, they hailed arrows, these magic arrows, onto him. And some legends say that this killed Moushop. Some say that this just caused him to retreat and never return. But either way, this attack on them was the last time Moushop was found within Wampanoag folklore. So, yeah, they back with a vengeance.
That is a cool story. And fun fact, right? You got some time in Cape Cod, right? That used to be your summer spot for a long time, right?
I have family up there. Yep, I still go up there all the time. I'm going up in a few weeks.
Dang, wow.
Yep.
So I actually had heard a story that's fairly well documented about a mother, her daughter, and the daughter's 2 children. So a grandmother, a mother, and their 2 children moved into a dream home that they were looking at, kind of like a cottage. That area has its own type of architecture, right? Like its own type of building, right? They like a lot of lighthouse stuff up there.
Yep.
Right?
Subscribe now and turn on the notifications to join us on this extraordinary journey into the unknown.